Hardest thing we've done this term is adding and subtracting complex fractions. Students usually don't know where to start when they have a problem of 1/2 divided by 3/5 minus 2/3 divided by 4/5. What I asked the students to do was approach it in 3 parts. The first part was to simplify the first complex fraction, 1/2 divided by 3/5. To do that, they needed to get rid of the denominator by multiplying 3/5 by 5/3. And in order to balance this so that they did not change the value when they multiplied the denominator by 5/3, they needed to also multiply the numerator by 5/3. So 3/5 times 5/3, the 3's cancel out, the 5 cancels out with the other 5, and we get 1/2 multiplied by 5/3, which is going to be 5/6. So this part, after they simplify, is equal to 5/6. The second part is taking 2/3 divided by 4/5 and simplifying this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this denominator by 5/4, because 4/5 times 5/4 is 1, so everything's going to cancel out here. So I get 4/4 is 1, 5/5 is 1. I have no more denominator. And in the numerator, I get multiplication problem again, which is 2/3 multiplied by 5/4, which is equal to 10/12. So now, the simplified problem is 5/6 minus 10/12. Now there are 2 ways to approach this problem. So the students can divide 10 by 2 and 12 by 2 to get 5/6, but I prefer that they just multiply this fraction by 2/2 so that their denominator is equal to 12 on both sides, and they will get 10/12 minus 10/12, which equals 0. So approach is one of the things that's difficult for the students, but if they approach it in parts and do what they can, then it simplifies to a subtraction problem. And they just need to remember that they cannot subtract fractions unless they have a common denominator. So they need to multiply this fraction by 1, which doesn't change the value. It makes it an equivalent fraction, 10/12, and then realize that 10/12 minus 10/12 is equal to 0.